Hey everyone, let's look at the inefficiencies of a monopoly market structure. So I have two different diagrams here. One on the left is for a perfectly competitive industry. The one on the right, I'm comparing perfect competition to monopoly. So something to remember when I'm drawing the perfectly competitive industry. The demand curve is downward sloping because this is an industry. For a farm, the demand curve is horizontal. We have productive efficiency and we also have allocative efficiency when we look at a perfectly competitive industry. Now look at the graph on the right. I have the downward sloping demand curve. I have the marginal revenue curve, which is below the demand curve. I have the marginal cost curve, which is also the supply curve. And the point of intersection between the marginal cost curve and the demand curve, I will have the perfectly competitive price and perfectly competitive quantity. Let the perfectly competitive price be equal to $10 and perfectly competitive quantity is equal to $10 as well. So now to find the monopoly quantity, I look at the point of intersection between the marginal revenue line and the marginal cost curve. So I draw a line here. This one is the monopoly quantity and definitely less than the perfectly competitive quantity. Let this be equal to 8 units. To find the price, I am extending all the way to the demand curve. The price is greater than the perfectly competitive price. So we see the monopoly price is greater than perfectly competitive price and monopoly quantity is lower than perfectly competitive quantity. So they're charging a higher price and they're selling a lower quantity. This market structure is inefficient. So why is this market structure inefficient? There are two reasons. Number one, the monopoly quantity is less than the perfectly competitive quantity, and for a monopoly market structure, the price is greater than marginal cost. So over here we had price is equal to marginal cost. For a monopoly, we have price is greater than marginal cost. So we are losing out on productive efficiency. So we see less output is produced in a monopoly market structure compared to a perfectly competitive market structure, and this part is the efficiency lost, or the other name for this shaded part is called a deadweight loss. Okay, so the monopoly is an inefficient market structure, unlike a perfectly competitive market structure. That's all for now.